Thank you, everybody. A what do you mean phase ricocheting off a nearby wall in my mind as I stand on it before you delivering this talk. My first TEDx as a social innovator. The Gen Z in me wants to be, ooh, but I'll just keep it cool. But frankly speaking, whenever I say out loud that I cannot believe that something astonishing as this is happening in my life, one of my most incredible cheerleaders and friends would give me a rather mean face that is supposed to remind me of her earnestly asking me, but what do you mean? So today, I have her, what do you mean face, locked up in here to ensure that I get through this talk right, lest she finds me right after this talk and ask, bro, what did you mean up there? But I also want to say that my friends can be the most brutal enthusiasts and motivators, but it is because of their motivation I'm here today. So this talk is an ode to all the people I cherish in my life. This talk is not going to give you the ABCs of inventing you, I'm sorry, nor will it give you some hacks to make your life easier or simpler than perhaps what it already is. Trust me, if this was such a talk, I would exchange seats with you. So if you are an expert in such, maybe this is the best chance for you. But what I can offer is a simple story about how I managed to invent myself at the age of 21. It's a story of personal growth, resilience, and creative expression. Before and during national service in corporate Accra, I embarked on an ambitious shift from maintaining a professional traditional finance and accounting pathway into evolving into a young social innovator. I can tell you that it wasn't easy, but I was doing this while being on a self-teaching and learning journey where I could adopt skills and practices that challenged me to reflect on my own gifts, talents, and passions and look deep into my core competencies. But I was doing this while simultaneously striving to pass my final uni exams in Bachelor of Science in accounting major with honors as my ever-evolving mother and father expected of me at the time. But I was assiduous. I had to be. I didn't have a choice in that matter. So that was when I started collaborating with creatives, young, emerging. We raised funding to develop programs to help other student creatives like me at the time to upskill and build a community of other like-minded creatives to hone their creativity and develop compelling portfolios. I'm 24 today, whether you believe it or not. And the first key takeaway I want every emerging professional or student to have is that embracing the uncertainty is acceptable. And I say this perfectly aware of the nature of our country's socio-economic infrastructure. Looking back, I've never been certain about the career options that were schooled into me since primary education. Don't get me wrong, they would have offered me a good life, arguably, social acceptance, good money, of course. But my problem was that the portrayals of success were linear, and the impacts that I would be creating would not offer a life of potential fulfillment. And that is when I knew that I am going to be a nonconformist forever. I had many clues. They were consistent in nature, what I call reciprocal rejection when I attempted to find a place in a traditional pathway. In so many ways, it didn't want me, and I also realized I didn't want it back. Another truth is, when I shifted, the radicalness was not necessarily about the shift, but it has been the way I continually do the work that I have chosen to do. And that is where you find your drive, your potential, your power, your dignity, but also, and maybe more importantly, your vulnerability. I would not have gotten clarity on any of these things if I had gone another path. And going through all of these things, I realized that I alone am the architect of my mindset and my capabilities. And so I must always be ready for the future. So during my time of uncertainty, navigating through a scary future, I have 3 questions to keep me going. Will my skills and experiences still be relevant? Can I deliver on the promise of being a change maker in a world different from today's? And am I still on the path to continue learning, experimenting, embracing the alternative, and collaborating efficiently? Now, I don't have the perfect answers to these questions because I choose to be curious every day. But while these suspenseful questions live rent-free in my mind, I find consolation in the fact that because of the path I have chosen, at least I have clarity also on 3 things. On what will give me fulfillment in a future that I can envision, on whom to work with, and on what I definitely do not want to become. To get to such clarity, especially in your youth, is to critically make time for pauses, to think deeply, wisely, thoughtfully, but also strategically about how you're making decisions, how you're learning from those decisions and the outcomes of those decisions and executing those decisions. In the 2 years of my transitioning, I've co-visioned and created with local community practitioners in Ghana's bustling second-hand clothing recovery ecosystem to attain social and dignified economic opportunities. What's important here for me is the community practitioners that I work with have helped me unleash my potential. Now, these few achievements, which I found to be my own way of integrating myself into society, are now a part of my story. But not because of my excellent skills in a pathway I'm still notably growing in, but because of honing in on the power of collaboration and cohesion, mutual commitment, and local community partnerships. I urge you to immerse yourself in the entirety and possibility of unleashing your potential, because it is only then you would experience a genuine and holistic journey into becoming a change maker or game changer in the field that you've chosen. Trust me when I say that denying yourself to have a stake in your future is self-betrayal. It's a disservice to yourself and one of the biggest impediments to inventing you. I know a lot of you feel lost. You want to create positive impacts beyond just securing respectable positions in the fields that you've chosen. So in your time of uncertainty, I'll leave you with 3 key questions. They may be basic in nature, but trust me, if you keep them burning inside of you, you might find your path. What are you eager about? What are you hungry for? And my favorite one, what will aid you discover and experience some form of positive rebellion? Inventing yourself is inventing your future self. It's an everyday responsibility with every iota of your being, every thought, and every deed. And trust me when I say, when you begin to understand and trust who you are becoming, you will definitely find what makes your heart sing. It's the cornerstone to going outward and creating an impact in your community. But the last key takeaway I want you to have is that it must all start with you. Thank you.